Welcome to Delaware Live Sports Weekly. I'm Glenn Fraser. Tonight we're at Buffalo Wild Wings in Dover as we take a look back at last week's football games, take a look at our Week 5 matchups coming up this weekend, reveal our Super Sevens, and tell you where we will be for our games this weekend. The crew tonight consists of Benny Mitchell, Mike Lang, and a little bit later we'll have Shannon Timmons up here on the dais. Our special guests tonight are the defending state champion Smyrna High School field hockey team. Well, guys, let's just dive right in here with the games we had last weekend. Benny, let's start with the game you had Friday night.
Another 2 weeks in a row of weather games, some rain and mostly some mist and some wind, but Milford just got it started early. Denar Horsey, 160 yards. That was not even midway through the third quarter when they put the reserves in. The kid, he's a downhill runner. I talked to Jed Bell after the game. They liked the way he ran. They thought earlier in the season he was being a little shifty, too shifty, and this last week he was one cut and take off, and he scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game. Like I said, 160 yards. Concord had a chance in this game early on. They were moving the ball down the field behind Gerard Wright, and he had 3 big runs, and then he took a hit and had to leave the game with a dislocated elbow. Hopefully he's be back for the end of the season. Hopefully he's feeling a little better, but he missed the whole rest. It just caused Concord to be uncomfortable the rest of the game, having to throw the ball a lot more, run the ball with backups, and Milford just rolled to a 35-0 victory and got some on homecoming night and in front of a big crowd, some guys that didn't think they were going to be in the game got to run the ball. So,
we're barely midway through the season. It's amazing how many homecoming games we had last weekend.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like a fear of COVID thing. Remember when we didn't get the senior days in?
Yeah.
So people are pushing up senior. Maybe they're pushing up homecomings. Most teams will do homecoming after an away game, but this was an early one. I think I got homecoming at Woodbridge this week. So we're we're in the middle of that season, so we're going to have 20-minute halftimes here for the next couple of weeks.
And we'll have Milford again this weekend, as they'll be up. The upstate crew will do the game at St. Elizabeth's. Well, Mike, you and Jason had a very exciting and entertaining ball game Saturday afternoon. Talk about the Newark and the Mount.
Yeah, well, Nick Halliday forced us to do Mount Pleasant.
Pretty good call, though.
It was a great game. It was, we wanted to see McKeevis Rogers from Newark. He scored 4 touchdowns and threw for another one. But Mount Pleasant's quarterback, Cam Wright, threw for 4 touchdowns and really ran that offense well. I was impressed with Mount Pleasant. They were behind early. They just kept fighting back. And other than Rogers, they did a great job stopping Newark. I think it was homecoming in Mount Pleasant, but it was a nice crowd on hand, nice weather, and Mount. They've been knocking on the door, and maybe this is the year they get back into the playoffs. It was a great game, and Mount. I think there was 5 straight touchdowns where the lead changed hands, so it was a lot of fun. We kind of got through Friday night, and then we're rewarded on Saturday with some great games up and down the state. So it was fun.
Should have been too many tackling injuries. It looked like they were playing on foam. I was kidding with Marty Sheehan on Twitter. It looked like the grass looked like plush carpeting out there. I mean,
yeah, it looked like normal from where I was sitting. It looked like normal grass, but everybody said it looked pretty plush.
It did. It looked very comfortable.
I mean, in Dover, I left Dover on Friday night. I had to go dump out my shoes. I had piles of crumb rubber in there.
And the Central crew, we had the first state ortho game of the week. It was homecoming at Dover High.
Right.
And quarterback Nassim Cosme was the homecoming king, and he had one heck of a ball game. He had a couple of long runs, one a tightrope job down the sideline for a touchdown. Jaquan Kilby, a couple of touchdowns, 160 yards rushing. So Louisiana actually scored first. And they scored on a little bit of a trick play because they put in a lean to take the direct snap. Of course, he is not a stranger to being a quarterback. Right. He did some of that at DMA. But he started to run a play up to the middle, then he faked it, stepped back, and he found, I can't remember the wide receiver's name. Anton in stride for a touchdown, and Sally's was up 7-0, but Dover came right back with 2 straight scores, and they never looked back. I think the key to the game, and Mike, you were there, was Dover really controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides.
Yeah, defensively, Stevenson really stands out to me. He was in the backfield all night.
Yeah.
Not just him, but his name I remember. They really, Dover really controlled the line. The time with Sally's really was stay close. was when Kilby went out. I think they said he wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
So he missed most of the second quarter after he scored the second touchdown, of course, and Sal's hung tough. But after that, I never really thought Dover was losing control of that game, even though it was only an 11-point game at the end. It felt bigger than 11 points.
Sally's quarterback, Stewart, did a good job throwing the ball. He has some good wide receivers to throw to, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I think he passed for almost 160 yards in the game.
Yeah, it was just tough. I mean, it was that's a big team, Dover, and I hadn't seen him, and I was mucho impressed by the Senators. That was a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the past, Glenn, Dover's had the reputation of being big play, score team, and this year they're able to move that. They're able to march that ball down the field and punch in the inside the fives, and they're still able to score on those 50 and 70-yard runs. They're a very dangerous team.
And we talk about them being a three-headed monster because of Parker. Add him into the mix. He lines up as a wideout, but he does a lot of jet sweeps, and he can break loose, and he did for a touchdown as well in the game. So they're very dangerous. Cosme can throw the ball, as he did against Appo earlier in the season. All right, let's take a look, guys, at what we got coming up this weekend. Benny, what do you have on tap?
Finally, some district football, some district games. I had the Laurel be at Woodbridge.
Old Henny South game.
It's an old Henny South game, yes. I was talking to Jed Bell last week. He said going back to our roots next couple of weeks. But this game's intriguing. Neither team passes much. I think the team that can throw the ball can win this game because you become one-dimensional. They're going to put 8-9 people in a box, and we're going to have a very short, low-scoring game if that happens. Both teams, Laurel's more of a marching down the field, score from inside the 5, and Woodbridge more of a big hitter plays.
And what do we got going on at State?
Well, we got a doubleheader Friday night at Caravel. It's going to be Archmere Caravel. And then
That was last week.
I'm sorry, Archmere DMA. Don't worry, I got it straight. Archmere DMA on Friday, and then Saturday we will be at Abyssinia Stadium for Milford one more time against St. Elizabeth's. A lot of maroon on Saturday. You had maroon last week. We got maroon this week.
And then Friday night, the Central crew will have the Harvest Bowl, Middletown at Smyrna to take on the Eagles. All right. We got baseball fever in the first state. The Orioles in the playoffs, winning the AL East. The Phillies had Red October last night. We've got our own version of Red October right here tonight at Buffalo Wild Wings. Up next, the Red of Smyrna High School, the defending state champs in field hockey. That's next on Delaware Live Sports Weekly.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions.
Welcome back to Delaware Live Sports Weekly. Here live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Dover, I'm Glenn Frazier, joined now by our 302 Sports field hockey expert, Shannon Timmons, as she gives a little sly grin. Shannon, welcome in, my softball partner.
It's good to see you again.
Good seeing you. And we've got some field hockey coming up later this season. We'll talk about that on another show. But let's welcome in, like I said, it's Red October for the Phillies. It's Red October here at B-Dubs with the Smyrna field hockey team. Defending state champs, and we have with us Hallie Geiger Jr., Drew Moffitt, a junior, and a freshman, Bree Moffitt. Again, defending state champs, and have already have knocked off Cape and Delmar in regular season games this year. So for years, it's been Cape and Delmar, and now Smyrna flexing the muscles now, moving in there, making it a three-team competition in the Henlopen Conference. Right, Shannon?
Yeah, so I actually want to talk to you guys a little bit about that win last year, and we'll catch up to speed and get to this season here in a second. But a major move for your program last year. So how did it feel for all of you guys to be a part of that last year? And what did that do for your program as far as, you know, putting your stamp on things as an up-and-coming team in the Henlopen Conference?
I think that it was a very crazy year, especially it being my freshman year last year. It was a crazy experience to have. I really enjoyed the experience with my team and enjoyed building up throughout the year, enjoying like building with the team and just continuing to improve every day.
I definitely think it's something we've been working towards, and to be able to accomplish it is like such a great feeling of relief almost, because it's like that one thing you're just trying, it's a goal you're looking after, and it's a journey you're going on as a team, and to be able to get to it as a team is such a great feeling, and to be able to work through it again this year.
I also believe it really solidifies that sense of anything's really possible. So if you just put the work behind it, which we did right from the beginning, the summertime before last year, and the year before that even, my sophomore year, really we started to kick off our program. I think it just solidifies and tells you that you can do hard things, and things that you work for eventually come your way.
And I'm going to double back. You said, you know, working together as a team. So let's talk about your team chemistry, right? I've been able to see two of your games against Cape Henlopen and Delmar, which you were both successful. You knocked off the big competition there early on here. So you have a relatively small roster, 18. Most teams are in the 20s somewhere. So let's talk about how that helps your team chemistry or hurts your team chemistry, and how you guys bond as a team, even off the field, because we know that's so important and it carries over to your play on the field.
I believe that with that roster, I think it really builds a supportive and tight bond with the group of girls that we're working with, because when you have a strict time mile, then it really keeps everyone under the same kind of criteria for the team, and it really lets you see eye to eye with your teammates and recognize each other as sisters.
I definitely think we're a close team because of it, and I think it's definitely being able, with our senior class being so small, we've been together for the 3 years or 4 years together, like as a team, and now these last 3 years with these girls building up, it's just been so great to be able to build those bonds.
Yeah, it's really nice that as a team, even with the small roster that we have, we can all call each other family, and we're always there for each other no matter the day, no matter the week. Doesn't matter, we're always there for each other, and that's what it's really good for us, just because we can bond so well because of that.
So what's one activity you guys like to do as a team off the hockey field that helps bring that bond when you go to play?
Last year was yoga. This year has been actually a lot of random things, but specifically team dinners.
Yes.
What's your favorite meal?
Main Street Market in Smyrna.
Yeah.
Smyrna.
There's a nice plug.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, let's ask the real tough question now. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings. So what's your go-to menu item and your favorite wing sauce if you eat wings?
I feel like my favorite for the wing sauce, probably the orange chicken.
Okay.
I don't really eat wings too much,
Okay.
but so I just eat like chicken tenders or something.
Okay.
I don't really eat wings either, but I'm a big burger girl. So I will tear up some burgers. Anything with bacon on it is my favorite. So I have a burger on my way. So.
You know, girls, I got to tell you, I think it's awesome that I know it started downstate with Cape and Delmar. There's so many field hockey players that have been able to get scholarships and play at the next level and get a good college education. It's happening a lot. Now, Smyrna's becoming prominent too. So each one of you, tell us, is that in your future? Is that a goal for you to try to work towards a scholarship and play at the next level?
For me, it was definitely a dream ever since I was a little kid that I really was really reaching high young, and my parents were very supportive of it, so I'm very appreciative of all the things that they did to help me in my recruiting process, and I think it's part of the reason why I was able to commit and find so much success in that recruiting process to the University of Michigan.
I think definitely for me, it was a decision I made later on, but I was able to make it soon enough because I used to play soccer, so then I wasn't sure whether I was going to do that or field hockey at the time, so being able to take my training from soccer and apply it to field hockey, deciding that that was going to be my main sport, was able to really push me along, especially with supports from my coaches and family.
Yeah. My dream is definitely to go to the next level. As a sophomore, I can't really get recruited yet, so I'm just kind of seeing my options and just kind of looking around right now.
Good.
All right, so you guys remain undefeated, 7-0. You have a big game coming Friday against Newark Charter, who just lost to Caravel. So you and Caravel are the two teams standing as undefeated in the state. And you just came off another great win at Milford, so congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Just talk to me about one thing that your team is excited for, to look forward to the rest of the season, and one thing that you think will be a challenge for you guys as you head to the tournament and try to defend your state title.
I think. Oh, go ahead. Go. I think one thing that might be a little bit challenging for us is trying to think of last year compared to this year. But I think that we have this mindset of that it's not the same year. We have a whole different team, and we're just going to go with that team. And the family that we've created this year is way different than the family last year. But it's still the tightest bond we can get, and we're still going to improve every single day because of it.
And I definitely think that we're looking forward to improve as much as we can, and being able to play big teams like Cape and Delmar early in the season have helped us show our weaknesses in certain areas on and off the field. So we're able to work on that throughout the season to get better.
I'm also appreciative that it's so early in the season because I feel like with, like she said, those weaknesses, we can improve them, but we can also improve our team bond because you can never get closer. You can never get close enough with family. You always got to keep that bond going and getting stronger. It's really crucial to be a strong team. Like, we have those high standards that people are giving us, and knowing and being within the family, you know that we have our own goals aside from just what people are giving us, and I think that really keeps us strong and more united as a front.
Now let me ask you this question. Professional sports, again, the baseball playoffs are on right now. Are you baseball fans? Are you rooting for a certain team? Football fans? What?
Definitely more of a football fan than baseball. I don't really have any certain teams. In college football, we definitely root for Michigan. Definitely like Michigan. Oh. But yeah.
Definitely more of a football fan in my family for sure. I know I don't have a certain team necessarily, but just being able to watch it in the fall.
Definitely a Pats fan for football, for Patriots. While regrettable last 2 seasons, but beyond that, our entire family as a whole, for Bria and I, though, we've definitely, when I was younger, we would watch Phillies games for baseball. So.
Shannon, you have anything else for the ladies?
No, I just want to wish you guys good luck, and I'm sure at some point in time I'll see you guys and interview again throughout the season. So best of luck to you as you make this run to the tournament. We're excited for you.
Thank you.
I echo that, but I have one more question. I'm going to start with Hallie here. A lot of pressure on you being a goalie. Right? You're seeing the other team down, they got a scoring opportunity, pressure's on you to stop it. Here's pressure. What's your go-to music when you're warming up for the game? When you're in the locker room, you ready to come out, your earbuds in or the headset, what are you listening to get you pumped up for the game?
Honestly, whatever's on the speaker at that point, because I'm just trying to focus on my mindset and being able to be in the right head space for the game coming up and being able to stay focused. So whatever is on, I'll just listen to at that point. I'm not too picky about it.
So who made your pre-game playlist?
Actually,
one of our players, JoJo
made our team playlist.
You might not be able to see her. Best song on the playlist, go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What about Coach? What does she listen to?
Actually, Coach, what do you listen to? What do you like to listen to? I like Nelly. She's a big Nelly Valley fan. Yeah, I told you that, but yeah, we're a big singing and dancing team. So
We
anything
are.
we can get hyped to and dance and get in a circle to, we do it. We're all
Yes.
Well, all of us here at 302 Sports want to thank you for coming down here and being on the show tonight. I think the first field hockey team we've had on this year. Best of luck in that next game against Carabel. And both Shannon and I wish you the best of luck the rest of the season. I think we'll see you out there in postseason play.
Thank you.
Good
so
luck
much.
to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, the Smyrna field hockey team. We'll be back with our Super Sevens right after this on Delaware Live Weekly Sports.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris. I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that
High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004.
I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Sodell Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Sodell Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Sodell Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Sodell Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state.
Signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life. Wraps.
Welcome back to Delaware Live Sports Weekly, live from Buffalo Wild Wings here in Dover. Once again, we're rejoined by Benny Mitchell and Mike Lang. And guys, once again, let's briefly talk about the live streams we have coming up. 3 games on Friday night, 1 on Saturday. Benny and the Downstate crew, another homecoming game for you.
Yep, homecoming 2. I'm getting good at judging floats out there each week. But yeah, Laurel Woodbridge. We talked about earlier. Not even the homecoming. It's the old Henny South, and it's going to be a good game. 3-1 Woodbridge versus 2-2 Laurel. Laurel's 2 losses coming at number 1 Caravel, and 3A Sussex Central. Woodbridge's one loss coming to what I think come November is going to be a very strong Howard team, and R.J. Matthews lit them up. I think 7 touchdowns in that game between passing and running. So again, this game, I think whoever can throw the ball successfully will win. 2 good, strong run defenses, 2 good, strong running games, and I think it's going to come down to who can sling the rock.
And then, Mike, doubleheader for the Upstate crew Friday night. You have the Auks at DMA.
Let me get this right. So Archmere at DMA this time. Archmere is at 1-3, the 1 win over St. Elizabeth. So they're going to need a few wins if they want to be in that state tournament talk. They're a good team. They've played a tough schedule so far, and they have a lot of new players. We talked about Archmere. We had them on the show last week. So Archmere at DMA, Odell Teal, quarterback for DMA, pretty dynamic kid. So we'll see. That's at Fusco Stadium Friday night, and then Saturday we have Milford against St. Elizabeth. St. E's played up against Archmere and lost, and they lost by 6 to Indian River, and their other opponents they've handled pretty easily. So they have a small roster, but they're really well coached, and they have a lot of talent in that small roster. Freshman quarterback Cole Andrews, I'm going to say Gavin, that's his brother. Cole Andrews is going to be something special in the next couple of years. He's already pretty good. He's a freshman. And they have running back Jihad Brown and Nehemiah Hamilton. They have some guys who can play. They have some skilled players. But it's a step up against Milford. And we saw Milford last week.
I think this is a big mid-season test for both these teams. I know Milford's playing down, but if they're going to make a run for the playoffs, this is a game they have to win. And I think this is going to kind of see where St. E's is at. They're going to see when Milford's running the wing tee, they're running it well. So they're going to see a lot of misdirections. I wish it was Saturday. Oh, it is Saturday. I get to watch it at noon.
It's Saturday
I can watch it on my phone from the parking lot of the University of Delaware.
Saturday at noon at Abyssinia, and I think that's going to be me and Nick and Jason. I think we're on the call.
And then the Central crew, we've got the Harvest Bowl game Friday night. We have Middletown coming in with a 3-1 record. We had them ranked 1 in the Super Sevens, which you're going to see in a moment. And they're going up against 1-3 Smyrna. Got their first win and their first home game last Friday night against Apo. They kind of raced out to an early lead and put a lot of second-string players in and held on for a win. Apo can throw the ball. They're a pretty good football team, but Smyrna just had too much offense for them, and this will be an interesting test. Smyrna's got to watch out. They lose this game, they're 1-4, and they still have to play Dover.
Right.
So it's going to be a tough schedule for Smyrna, still yet to come, and they still have Sussex Central to play as well.
5-5, they're the bubble. But right now, those teams they've lost to, they might pull them through. They might get 9 bonus points out of this first half of the season. So that'll be huge.
All right, guys, let's take a look at the Super Sevens. We're going to start in 1A, and we'll start with number 7. How about First State Military Academy? Just kudos to that program. To get, what are they, 3-1? I think they got a 3-1 record.
Yeah, 3-1.
Yeah, off to a great start. Yeah.
Lost to Polytech.
But they did lose to Polytech.
Right.
Okay. Well, we had them at 7, Wilmington Charter at 6, Brandywine. Benny, you've been touting them all year long.
Yeah, I mean, Kristen Wright can throw the football. And I tell you, Wilmington Friends, he's 4 touchdowns between running and passing, and over 400 yards, nearly 400 yards combined. This kid's a real deal.
And that may have been the game of the week right there, double overtime. Brandywine and Friends.
Double overtime.
Overtime game that Friends won on a field goal.
Right.
But Kristen Wright is having himself a year.
Right above Brandywine, we have Polytech coming in at number 4. Again, a turnaround for them. Congratulations to them in that program. St. E's at 3, Indian River at 2, and Tatnall at number 1. Now let's move to 2A. At number 7, have Delmar Wildcats. I don't think we had them ranked unless we did early in the year. They just broke into the
rankings. Their losses, DMA, a 2-touchdown loss, and
Friends.
And Wilmington Friends.
Right.
So, I mean, we've always said AA is the wild west, and we said all year long those rankings are going to go up and down, and they're already doing it. We're finding week 5 and Del Mar's popping into the rankings.
Right above them, Red Lion Christian Academy, and then above them is Howard, a very dangerous team. DMA, which is the team you're going to see this weekend. Wilmington Friends at 3, Laurel at 2, and Caravel, the undisputed number 1 choice by everybody.
Just about Friends, we mentioned this last week. Ryan Tattersall is out right now. They're going with Andrew McKenzie at quarterback. The kid never played quarterback before. So he's running it, he's passing it. He's also, I think he's their kicker, or the punter. McKenzie is he's doing everything for them. He's not alone. They have other players, but it's not a big roster.
Yeah.
There's not 30 kids on that
Never
team.
is.
And as usual, they're getting things done up there, Friends, and they hung on against Brandywine, and they shut out Del Mar. They're doing Friends type of things.
They are.
And Wilmington Friends has Howard this week. That's going to be a great one.
That's Saturday at 2.
Yeah.
Which means I wrap up at Abyssinia and drive the 10 feet up the street and watch Friends.
All right, that's 2A, guys. How about 3A? We have number 7, Apo. Above them, Hodson Votech. Another team I think can be a little dangerous, the Silver Eagles. Sussex Central at 5, Smyrna at 4, Salesianum at 3, and then Dover 2 and Middletown 1. I'm very curious to see Middletown and how they play against Smyrna Friday night, because depending on what I see out of them, I might be voting Dover number 1 the following week. Dover looked that good to me.
I did put Dover number 1. I haven't seen Middletown, but I was really impressed. Not that I'm not impressed with Middletown, but they played some teams. They played out in Ohio, and it's been tough really to get a hold of what they've been doing. But they sure took care of business. They didn't play last week.
Sussex Central, they beat
Central,
rather soundly a few weeks ago.
So
Yeah.
they're always good.
There's been some beating up of the media on Twitter about not ranking Dover number 1. I'm just not there yet. They're the runners-up last year, but they haven't played Middletown either season. So I need to see a Middletown Smyrna or a Smyrna Dover before I can make that move. I mean, they're definitely 1A.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a very good team. I'm just not ready to make that vote yet. And Sussex Central, their schedule was perfect for them. They had 0 returning offensive starters.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting at 3-1 going into Apo, and now those guys have had 4 games under their belts running that wing T. So they could be a really good backstretch team. They're only lost to Middletown.
That's an interesting matchup Friday night in West Middletown, because Apo can throw the ball, as we've seen, and it's going to be how well Sussex Central can put pressure on the quarterback and cover those wideouts.
And how long Sussex Central can hold the ball.
Right. Control the clock, time of possession. All right, those are our Super 7s. Guys, do you see any games on the schedule, doesn't matter what class, 1, 2, 3, that are intriguing matchups to you this weekend?
Yeah, I love that St. George's Salesianum game. I think that's going to – I know St. George's not in our Super 7, but that's a dangerous team. They needed a last-minute touchdown to beat William Penn last week, but I know they can play. John Wilson's a great coach.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a real good game at Abyssinia on Friday night.
St. George's almost beat them last year. Remember? It was a late field goal.
Late field goal from Collins, and he's gone. So we'll
and
see
Montgomery's back. He had a slight leg injury, suffered late in the Apo game. Coach Wilson says he'll be back for the Salesianum.
I think St. George is always a dangerous team.
The one that jumps out at me is Wilmington Friends and Howard. It's going to be played on grass, so I imagine we'll get a little rain, and the Tattersalls will let the grass grow just a little bit. But, hey, R.J. Matthews can throw the ball. You pass on the grass, you run on the rug. This could be a great game to watch. And then the other one, I already mentioned Sussex Central Apo, but I think the Cape and Lopen St. Mark's game, 2 teams that are not in the Super 7, they're right outside. I think they're both 3-1. Although Cape, I'm sure first thing St. Mark's is going to do is call Hodgson and say, how did you shut Mark Hyde James down? Because that is the key. If you can, that kid, he's a D1 type player. He's going to JMU. Again, he'll be up on the grass playing on the turf at St. Mark's. Yeah. So can St. Mark's do what Hodgson did and slow down the Marquette James running game? If they do, I mean, the kid's a heck of a running back. So
that's where some rain might help St. Mark's.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It would turn out. I mean, the field's in really good shape now, but we saw what it was last year by the end of the season, and it slowed Robbie Tattersall down.
Right.
But Friends ended up winning. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a good one as well.
All right, when we come back, college news and notes, we'll have our top performers and top plays as we are at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Dover, and we'll be back right after these messages.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Hey, welcome back to Delaware Live Sports Weekly as we bring back local college news and local athletes that are playing in college. I had a couple, Mike, I don't know whether you have any or not, but Josie Holloman from Delmar High received her first Big Ten Player of the Week honor. She was named Defensive Player of the Week in the conference, starting on the back line for the Terps versus number 6 Rutgers and against number 16 Penn State. Holloman posted a career-high 2 goals against the Nittany Lions on Sunday. And her and Bradford are doing a great job for Maryland and field hockey.
Well, you know who they're going to get to play against next year? Drew Moffitt, who's going to be out there at Michigan. So, it's going to be a Henlopen Conference reunion in the Big Ten.
It's amazing what those girls are doing on the next level, and their underclassmen doing a great job.
Well, they're freshmen, right?
Right. Gosh. All right, well, that's what we have from college. If you have any, hit us up on social media and let us know. All right, time now for our top performers. And after that, we'll finish off with top plays. Top performers, let's start with, and Mike, you mentioned his name a little while ago, Delaware Military Academy, Odell Teal, rushed for 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then passed for 134 yards and a 3rd touchdown in a big win over Elkton, Maryland. Also on our list, Noah Walker from Polytech, 12 carries for 154 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a win over First State Military. How about Tim Witcher from St. George's? He comes in, spells the quarterback. He passes for 260 yards, 2 touchdowns in that 1-point win over William Penn. And then Marquivas Rogers from Newark in a close loss, rushed for 4 touchdowns, passed for a 5th in that game with Mount. Jordan Miller from Caravel rushed 28 times, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns in the 28-2 win over Archmere. R.J. Matthews keeps putting up the numbers for Howard.
Kid can play.
Wow, 15-24 for almost 400 yards, 395 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he rushed for a 6th touchdown in that 8-point win over Lake Forest. And that's the score surprised me. Lake has been down because they lost their quarterbacks, but they put up a fight against Howard in that game. 2 more for you. Colin King of Indian River on the defensive side. 11 tackles. They were all solo in that loss to Delmar. And then finally in the game that we had on our central crew, Dover's Jaquan Kilby, 160 yards on 21 carries, 2 touchdowns, and he didn't play the entire second quarter. in the win over Salesiana.
Hey, Gunn, I want to add the Wright brothers. They're actually not brothers, but we talked about Kristen Wright from Brandywine in his game against Friends, and Cam Wright from Mount Pleasant, who just ran an efficient offense, also played defense for Mount and they went over Newark. So I want to call them the Wright brothers, and they're on the list.
Okay. Those are our top performers. We certainly want to give a special thanks to the Smyrna field hockey team, plus all of our sponsors during the shows and games that you see, their ads and their commercials. If you're in the market for any of their professional products, please contact them. Let them know you saw their ad on Delaware Live Sports. They're all locally owned and conduct business with true professionalism. Without these companies, our games, our live streams, our shows would not be possible. Remember to tune in live next Wednesday night. We'll be at Christiana Buffalo Wild Wings for a 7 o'clock show. Before that, we'll keep an eye on our social media platforms, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'll do it for us tonight. For Shannon Timmons, Benny Mitchell, Mike Lang, I'm Glenn Fraser, and we're going to leave you with our top plays of the week. Have a great night.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.